Hey guys, this is just going to be my entire 3D movie collection. So I love 3D movies. That's the only reason I've kept my 1080p 3D TV. I haven't updated to a 4K television purely because they've stopped making 3D TVs. And my TV still displays 3D Blu-ray movies, so I'm really happy with that. I'm hoping if Avatar 2 and 3 or whatever comes out in the late next year, 3D movies or TVs at least make a bit of a comeback, but it looks really unlikely. So the first movie in my collection that I'll highly recommend if you're ever interested or you're lucky to have a 3D enabled television and you want to watch a 3D movie is Dial M for Murder. And I love these cardboard slip covers here. So you could only ever read about this movie in film books. Like when I was a film student, I only ever read about Dial M for Murder, and all the critics were saying, "Oh, you have to watch in 3D." You know, it's really incredible. There's nothing like it, and it's really exceptional. Admittedly, like it's really good watching in the 3D. I think 95% of the movie takes place in one location. So Alfred Hitchcock really uses every shot in that movie. It's extremely calculated, and the 3D is used to a huge effect. Like there's a big scene where a telephone is being dialed, and I think they used a King Kong size hand to dial in the numbers, like those old rotary phones, and he built that set like a big King Kong hand or finger to dial that number just to help create the illusion of 3D. I guess they needed a set that big or a prop that big to make that effect. And it's a famous scene. In fact, it should be on the front cover here where she's reaching out for the scissors. Yeah, but Grace Kelly, man, one of the best, in my opinion, the best 3D movie I've seen, and this is what jumped me over from DVDs to Blu-rays. Was once Blu-ray 3D was announced, and Dial M for Murder was one of the initial releases of it. I was on board right away, like sign me up. So every time I watch this, it's like a big movie experience. So first on the list, Dial M for Murder. The second highly coveted 3D movie is House of Wax. 3D. Funny enough, the director of this only had one eye, so he couldn't even see the effect, and still this is the greatest 3D movie ever made. It's a horror movie. I think this has famous actor in it. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. This movie has Charles Bronson, a young Charles Bronson in it. But I highly recommend this movie in 3D. If you're looking to build your 3D collection, you could only ever read about this movie and the effect of its 3D, and certain very limited cinema releases had it, but here it is. I can watch it at home, and it's every bit as spectacular as all the critics described it. And the next best 3D movie, and I was lucky enough to see this at the movies, is Hugo, and this is like an ode to cinema history, and this is directed by the great Martin Scorsese. So highly recommend this edition. And I love these editions here. We get the Blu-ray 3D, Blu-ray, DVD, and the digital copy. Yeah, highly recommend Hugo, one of the best, definitely one of the greatest 3D movies ever. This is like the holy trinity, in my opinion. The next one is The Creature from the Black Lagoon. This edition is terrible. I actually have another edition that's just in plastic cases. I'm just showing off this one now. The reason why this is terrible, and I loved it first, but over the years, the discs have gotten stuck to the cardboard. So getting this disc out was very hard. I had to nudge it out. This is after quite a few years, and I wanted to watch it again, and it had all this residue in it, so I can't recommend getting any cardboard editions like this, despite how awesome this set looks. And I love classic monster movies, and I was so surprised that this Creature of the Black Lagoon edition is the 3D edition. So this movie was shot in 3D, and it's one of the greatest horror monster movies ever made. And in fact, The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro pays huge homage to this. It might be even set in the same universe, I don't know. But yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of the greatest ever. The next ones here is Prometheus. by Ridley Scott, originally shot in 3D. This is a fantastic edition here because look how many you get here. This is just a beautiful looking edition. Not a great movie, but it's Ridley Scott's return to science fiction. And yeah, it's pretty well made. Like the 3D effects in it are pretty good. Star Trek Beyond, and you had it came in this big box, so it had all these. It had a toy in it and all these discs and stuff like that. And so this is the 4K and it has the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray 3D, I think. Oh. Oh yes, this definitely has the Blu-ray 3D. I'm not a fan of the new Star Trek movies at all. This is the best out of the three of them, and from memory, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. From memory, the 3D effects are pretty good in it. Haven't opened this up, but I watched it in 3D at the movies. Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Haven't seen this movie in a long time. I remember at the movies, I really enjoyed it, and this is a special 3D edition, lenticular here in the holographic center. One of the best movie experiences I've had was the Lego movie. I went into this expecting it to be a piece of crap, but it's really good. So this edition has a Lego toy in it. Has a face cover of the Lego Man face, and it's a really fantastic comedy. I was coming into this film expecting to hate it, but really fantastic 3D movie. As most of these CGI'd movies, computer generated movies like Pixar and all that, they knock it out of the park with 3D. One of the best 3D experiences ever was Pacific Rim by Guillermo del Toro. Look at this edition. It's actually not that good, this toy. It feels flimsy, and the discs are in the back there. So you open it up. Oh, geez, I guess I should show you. So it doesn't feel great. The quality of this doesn't feel great at all, but I'm such a big fan of the first one. The second one is so garbage. I actually struggled to defend this movie after the second one, and so the movies sit in there, so it's not very well protected at all. But I love this. Is it's actually one of my favorite action films of all time, and the 3D in this movie is just sublime, especially when I saw it at the cinemas. And I was so shocked when I was listening to the audio commentary of this movie that Guillermo del Toro said, no, this was retrofitted to be 3D, so meaning they did it afterwards. So the studio asked him, could you make this 3D because 3D is so big? And he said, yeah, no problems, as long as I sit in and make sure it's done really well. And I have to say, this is one of the best 3D movies I ever saw in the movie. So if you can get this edition, this is the best one if they're still around. So Pacific Rim 3D, highly recommend this one. So any of the Pixar movies, really, these are retrofitted to be 3D. So Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3. These are all the 3D Blu-ray editions. So these are all Pixar films, and they knock it out of the park. And they got this lenticular cover here on all three of them. These editions might be going upwards of $100 or over $100 on eBay. But if you're lucky to get these and watch them in 3D, they're really fantastic. I saw the third one in 3D at the movies. But because they're computer generated, they can really knock it out of the park. I got Brave here, and this is an Australian version. So most of my Blu-rays are American. I get them from America. They often have the better special features, the cardboard slipcover, which I really like. A lot of people don't like the cardboard slipcovers. I love them. And unfortunately in Australia, we have very big lettering for our classification, which really sucks. I've also got Jurassic Park, Jurassic World here, and I saw this in 3D at the cinemas. A terrible cover here. This just always comes off, but this is like in a tin. And came with two figures as well of the dinosaurs that are characterized in the movie. Really awesome 3D on that one. And I think the movie isn't that great, but that battle scene with the T-Rex at the end is one of the greatest I've ever seen. It Came from Outer Space. This is a fantastic 3D movie. Martin Scorsese goes on and on about this on the Hugo special features. Highly recommend this one as well. One of the best monster movies. Not as good as Creature from the Black Lagoon, but really good. Gravity 3D. Unfortunately, I didn't see this at the cinemas in 3D, which was such a big mistake. I saw it at home, and watching it again at home, I don't think this movie's as good as it was watching it in the cinemas. And the cinemas is such a big experience, but watching it at home again, it just felt like, I can't stand Hollywood writing where one thing happens after another. They teach that in script writing class. Or well, this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and there's no pause. There's nothing organic about it. It's just a very workshopped script, and I really didn't enjoy watching Gravity again. But for the first time, if you can watch it in 3D in a big sound system, or better yet at the cinemas, really good initial experience, just not good the second time. The Martian, I really enjoyed this movie. I think this is one of Ridley Scott's best films. It's just my only criticism of it's just a bit too long. Really awesome edition here, and I do have the director's cut extended edition, although I don't think that's 3D, but this is Blu-ray 3D, and this is the theatrical release, and this doesn't have an audio commentary by Ridley Scott. Only the director's cut one does. Jurassic Park, so they retrofitted this one in 3D, so it has, again, I love these editions where it just has all of them. I'll have to watch this again. I can't remember if this was any good in 3D or not, but yeah, I'll definitely be watching it again. Top Gun, they retrofitted this in 3D. I was actually trying to buy all the 3D movies that they were doing, like retrofitting them to 3D, and I just ran out of money. It just got stupidly expensive. They were doing it to everything. The next movie I'll show you is another example, and the only one I regret not getting is The Predator, because they retrofitted that one in the same edition. So this is a cardboard slipcover with an awesome holographic or lenticular cover here. Top Gun, really good cinematography on this one, and Tony Scott, my favorite Tony Scott film is Enemy of the State. I like Top Gun, but it's definitely not one of his best. And of course, Wizard of Oz, so this is like a big box set here, and if I can show off that Blu-ray 3D Blu-ray, and it's got heaps of stuff inside this. It's got a USB stick in there. This is a fantastic edition, really awesome. From memory, I think the 3D on this just really blew me out of the water. And one of my favorite movies ever. Really, really fantastic movie, The Wizard of Oz, and this is an ultimate edition. And they were just giving these away back in the day when I got them. They were like $20, and I thought, you're crazy. It's like a $100 set. Mad Max 3D, fantastic, absolutely fantastic movie. I still put Mad Max 2 above this one, but Fury Road is fantastic. Yeah, and this is the 3D edition. Thor, so any of the Marvel movies are pretty good. These are terrible Australian editions because of the classifications just so large on it. But Thor Ragnarok 3D, Thor Limited 3D edition, and Thor The Dark World with all the special features 3D edition, holographic there. Fantastic edition of Civil War here, 3D. So any of the Marvel movies, you really get your money's worth with Marvel movies. They might be the same movie over and over again, but they're so well done. This X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, I think it's a really underrated movie. Unfortunately, the Apocalypse movie was absolute garbage, which I have here, and Apocalypse is like my favorite villain. I was talking up this movie like crazy when it came out, but yeah, these were actually shot in 3D by Bryan Singer, who's a exiled director, if you like, of Hollywood. But yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past, I think it's a fantastic movie. Next one here is a documentary by James Cameron, shot in 3D, Deep Sea Challenge. Really good 3D in this, where James Cameron goes to the bottom of the lowest point in the ocean for a few minutes, and it's all shot in very, very high level cameras, and it's all done in 3D. So James Cameron really was the guy that brought 3D to the forefront, and I hope he brings it back with, sorry guys, I was going to say, I'll get to that one in a sec, with Avatar. So this is the extended Blu-ray edition, and this has, I'm pretty sure this is 3D. I definitely got the 3D edition. Geez, now I'm so curious. Is this the 3D edition? See, this is it's a box within a box, man. So this is beautiful box set here. I definitely got the 3D edition somewhere, if this isn't it. This is terrible cardboard as well. Well, Avatar anyway, and I do have it. This might not be the 3D edition, but I definitely do have it. I'll fold these up later. And yeah, this is the movie that really brought 3D to the forefront. So I watching it again at home, I fell asleep several times, and it took me a while to get through this movie again. So I'm not a fan of it. Watching it the second time, but when I did see it at the movies, this movie just blew me away. It was one of the best cinema experiences I've ever seen. I just wish it was a lot shorter. I think it drags on a fair bit, especially watching it at home. And yeah, these extended editions are a big hit and miss for me. But movie experience wise, it was one of the best ever. The 3D on this, absolutely spectacular. And I hope James Cameron's able to bring back 3D. Man of Steel, really fantastic 3D edition, especially the battle scene at the end. I think Zack Snyder really knocked it out of the park with that final battle scene with everyone there. That was awesome. But definitely not a perfect film. Definitely not a perfect film. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This is a 3D edition, so Australian edition as well. Awesome edition here of Guardians of the Galaxy with all of them. There, oh, no DVD. Wow. But yeah, spectacular movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. And we got Avengers, and I missed out on the 3D edition. I remember ordering this. There is a 3D edition of this. I remember ordering it, going, yep, and I misordered. Didn't get the 3D one. Oh, so really unfortunate there. And they stopped making 3D with Endgame and Infinity Wars. So these two, I think that's when 3D ran its course, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm showing you this. I think I grabbed it by accident. Frozen 3D. I'm not a big fan of Frozen. This movie was talked up heavily to me, but this is... Oh, what? This isn't the 3D edition? Okay, sorry guys. Don't know why I grabbed this one. Frozen isn't in 3D, but I'm not a big fan of Frozen, but this is a Diamond edition or something. I think I grabbed that by accident. Sorry guys, all the Pixar movies sort of blend the same. Up, no, this isn't a 3D movie as well. Oh yes, and Up, this is another 3D movie here. Fantastic movie, Up by Pixar. And this is a big edition, has so many special features on this one. So really fantastic edition if you can get this. Nice holographic there for the front cover. Exodus by Ridley Scott. Not a great... Fell asleep watching this movie. It was so boring. But some really good 3D effects and shot in 3D by Ridley Scott. This one was a fantastic 3D movie. Not a perfect one, I think. Frank Miller just included too many stories. It would have been better, much shorter, and just focused on A Dame to Kill For, because there's a couple of other sub stories in this that just didn't work. The first Sin City was excellent. The second one had its moments. Not a great movie, but as far as the 3D goes, it's fantastic. And there's a really good nude scene with Eva Green. I'm not saying watch it because of the nude scene, but she gets out of the bath nude and all the steam is around her, and it was sublime in the cinemas. But yeah, really awesome 3D. Sin City, just not a great movie. I haven't watched this one yet, but Texas Chainsaw here is one of the best 3D movie. Fantastic lenticular here. I hear this is excellent. I'm a big fan of the original Texas Chainsaw. I didn't mind the remake as much, but I haven't experienced this yet on 3D. Oh, this is incredible. This is one of the best 3D movies you can get. And I'm not sure if this was done retroactively, like they did it post, like they didn't release in cinemas, because I missed this movie at the cinemas. But this is underrated, this movie, completely underrated. It's not a perfect film, definitely not as good as the anime, but it's really good, this one. I can't believe people pan this. Something about whitewashing or some bullshit. I don't know, but this is... Ignore them, guys. Get this movie if you can. I really regret not getting the first edition, getting the cardboard slipcover. I might have to look on eBay to get it, because I think this movie is just absolutely sublime. Yeah, go check this one out. Sorry, wrong one. And this one's really good as well. 3D Dimension, The Maze, really underrated. A movie that just went completely under the radar, and we're fortunate enough to have a release of this in 3D. Not a bad one at all. This one, a nice little movie there. I'm definitely not going to tell you it's one of the best. Kiss Me Kate, really funny musical movie here. Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, from memory. Some controversial scenes in that where he brutally spanks her on the backside. Really good 3D in this movie. Fantastic dance choreography as well. Doctor Strange, I really want to love this movie. I have issues with it. Casting of Tilda Swinton was wrong. They should have really, like, this guy just comes to this place, learns it really quick, and he's the best one there. I have issues with that, but there's a lot of things I really love about this movie, though. Doctor Strange, and this is definitely one of the most spectacular 3D Blu-rays, and this is an excellent addition here. So for a Blu-ray experience, this is one of the best. And again, Avengers Age of Ultron. This has the Blu-ray 3D, and I can't believe I missed out on Avengers. So yeah, guys, go check out some of these movies. If you're lucky to have a 3D movie, 3D TV, and you're after some 3D movies, because I absolutely love them. I think they're a fantastic experience, and I just wish they would really make 4K 3D TVs again. Thanks, guys, for checking this out.